someone comes to me, Mohammed, I've been struggling with Fajr for the last 10 years. Okay. So it's like you have, inshallah, the rest of your life, figure that out.
Many of us struggle, not to mention the Hajj, we struggle to even pray Fajr, and then of course the other of the 5 daily prayers as well. So, but I know that there's actually something that you said, if you want to experience the prophetic routine, go to Medina without a clock and live around the 5 daily prayers, and you'll probably mimic most of his routine, right? So I thought that was beautiful. But again, just the practicality of it, like, what practical tips can you give someone who's struggling to keep up in that consistency with the 5 daily prayers, especially those professionals who, are just busy at work, especially now we've just entered daylight savings, like you said, the winter time. How can a person overcome that struggle?
That's a great question. So again, I go back to the identity first, right? If I identify myself as Abd of Allah, slave of God, then I'll do, that's my number one priority, that's my number one identity. If that identity perhaps is not a big deal, or it's a smaller version from my work identity, that's where we struggle a lot of times. But once you take on this identity, say, okay, I'm an Abd of Allah, that's it. That defines who I am.
Yeah.
And so that's the first step. The second step of practicality, simple things like, I would say the Fajr starts the night before. We always say that our day starts at Maghrib. Islamic day starts at Maghrib.
Yes.
Which means what? Which means at Maghrib time, I've already started thinking of the next day. It's not like my day does not start at Fajr. Which means what? At Maghrib, I start thinking about, okay, let's dim the lights.
Yeah.
Let me start the melatonin production. Let me start to get to bed earlier. Unfortunately now with bedtime procrastination and staying up late at night and Netflix at night, it has a knock-on effect, right? So it's like, well, my day starts at Maghrib. How can I plan my evening so that I can make my early morning easier, right? So it's like sleeping right after Isha, not staying up late. Even the dinner time, when will I eat, right? When will I just rest? When will I just wind down? Right? So being on my phone till the last minute.
Yeah.
What you do at night has that knock-on effect. And if you can get that first step at Fajr, normally the rest kind of follows through. That's my number one. Number two is understanding that this is a lifelong habit. It's not a 6-week program or 5-week, some kind of camp you go through. Yeah. It's a lifelong habit. So yes, someone comes to me, Mohammed, I've been struggling with Fajr for the last 10 years. Okay. So it's like you have, inshallah, the rest of your life, figure that out.
Yeah.
So not seeing it as a, nothing, like all or nothing mentality.
Yeah.
Either I get it done or I don't do everything. And kind of really stepping up and really showing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah, I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm struggling one day, I fall asleep another day, one day I sleep early, one day I sleep late, but I have this mujahid, I have this constant struggle to make it work, inshallah.
Yeah.
The third is to how we organize ourselves during the workday, especially as professionals, especially in the winter. We have Asr, Maghrib back to back, right? And you're thinking, okay, it's like, I got to go to pray. You just prayed like 10 minutes ago. Like, what are you talking about? Right? That's another one coming up. And there's one more coming up to that. So I think there's an element of education as all those around you. Yeah. There's an element of you, even how you block your meetings, how you block your time, doing the most important work in that window between Fajr and Dhuhr. Trying to see how can I organize myself so that prayer has its space. It does not, I'm not fighting that space and making that space. And this is a challenge, of course, as we live in different parts of the world where prayer times gets condensed and something gets stretched out, right, in the summers. But I feel like even some people complain, like, why is prayer times change the whole year? Why do we just be the exact same time every year so that, and know when it is?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's part of the hikmah, part of the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to show, to be in sync with the seasons, to be in sync with His nation, with His creation, and to feel this adaptability, right? We're not rigid machines, right? We're human beings, we go through seasons of life. And also to exemplify the identity of a slave of God. He calls you when He calls you, not when you want to show up, basically. Yeah. I think that those sort of elements coming together really makes the difference to making Salah a priority, organize yourself, and planning that from the day before for Maghrib, basically.
Yeah.